It's necessary we get the reaction of some of the patients, and the president of the Renal Patients Association of Ghana, Kojo Bafwa-Henkra, is joining me for a conversation on the back of this. Thank you so much for your time. Definitely good news coming in. The NHIA statement treatment was to start today, which is Sunday, December 1, 2024. But we know the facilities do not operate on Sundays. What have you heard from members so far? Hello, Bafwa-Henkra. Hello, Mr. Henkra, can you hear me? Right, so we'll definitely get in touch with Bafwa-Henkra to get to know exactly how the kidney patients are reacting to this news coming in. We'll get to know if this is to gain some political points or generally the belief is something that is going to last for some time. Bafwa-Henkra, thank you for joining us once again. We want to know how the kidney patients have been reacting to this news coming in. Do you think it's something that is going to last for a very long time?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes. I think the projection that we did was at least for the next 10 years ahead of us. That was the projection that we did, looking at our current strength. That is I'm talking in terms of the national health insurance. Their current strength and the actuals and the calculation that they did. They've budgeted for, I think they are looking at the next 10 years. So I think we are ready to go. I mean, and all the facilities that are listed and shown are also ready to take up the challenge. So I think so far so good.
But how will the disbursement of over 200 million impact the accessibility and availability of dialysis services for kidney patients across the country?
I don't want the national health insurance. I don't know how that disbursement was made, but it was one of the calculations that they did. They put everything, because most of the hospitals were saying that, listen, because of the consumable, we normally procure it outside the country, it's in dollars. It should be advisable that we get more consumables that will sustain the whole thing, because once the consumables are short, dialysis are hot. So I think maybe that is what you consider, and they give them those disbursements. I don't want to national health insurance. I wouldn't know much about how the disbursement will be, but I know it was something they requested if some payments can be made ahead for them to get more consumables too, so that you will not have the challenge of shortable of consumables.
But can you explain the significance of extending free dialysis treatment to all patients, not just those under 18 or over 60, and how it will improve the lives of kidney patients in the country?
My brother, this is a life-saving something. I mean, first we have a challenge with the timing, but the point is, at the end of the day, the thing has come to meet us, or it is here with us. Because my brother, for me, I've done dialysis for 10 years. And between me and you, I don't even have one cedi in my account. So if this is coming at this particular time to save lives, because I keep saying if this thing should have come a bit earlier, we could have had more lives saved. But all the same, things were in progress. You just cannot get up and say today I'm doing free dialysis. Then they have to work behind the scenes and bring the things on board. So it's really a life-saving. And we applaud the government for this. I mean, we applaud the government for what they've done. No matter what, whether the political, whatever, at the end of the day, the thing, and national health insurance is bigger than they're putting on their claim system. So it's something that has come to stay. So we thank the government for the time intervention and whatever they've done to bring this in. As of today, I went for a funeral in the eastern region. My checks from all the centers, nobody has complained that when they went, they were denied. So it means that in a start. Probably tomorrow we'll have more inside of it, then we'll get to know exactly how this thing is going to help save more lives.
Mr. Henkra, there have been concerns raised on whether or not this can be sustained for a very long time. And you and I have been able to work on some of your stories. There are times where you head the renal unit at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, especially when the NHIA made a promise that some people who fall within some age groups will be receiving free treatment. But that never happened. Do you think, because we are at the crunch moment, getting towards the election season, this is a way of gaining some political points for the new patriotic party, or genuinely it's something that can be sustained for a very long time?
Yeah, thank you once again. Like I'm saying, we met all the facilities head and directors. I think that was on Tuesday or Wednesday. All of us met at the National Health Insurance Board. And then we asked them what will be the challenge for them not to start the program coming, that is today. All of them said they were ready. All of them said they were ready. Like I'm saying, the only challenge they raised was that they want, they should not deny them when the time is due for their payment so that they can procure more consumables. So some of them even read the issue that if there could be a way they could be paid in advance. Now, talking about the sustainability, like I'm saying, they sat down, that's why the health insurance sat down. They gave us a breakdown. And,
absolutely.
And yes.
Right.
Hello,
thank you so much for your time, and definitely we'll have our lenses dotted across all the main facilities to know if indeed this exercise will proceed on Monday or not. Now let's head to your election command center.
Five days to the election. Welcome to your election command center. And presidential candidates of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has criticized the former president John Mahama for failing to understand that the NPP has created more jobs than the NDC when they were in power. Dr. Bawumia was addressing party supporters at New Jobbing South as part of his tour of the Eastern region.
About 2016, and a year no free a buying. And then, or say, or peso sambabium. Mupeso sambabium. Mupeso sambabium. Mupeso sambabium. Dear Ben Odiba. Dear Ben Odiba. A doom so ana. Anaya confirm. Anan kukon kitting. And then Odiba. Chavay. Or see why one way a Juma sing. Let me be saying, say, unti economic data asiana. Usha jobs. We have created more jobs than you. We have done more agriculture than you, more industry than you, more roads than you, more railway than you, more airports than you, more hospitals than you, more classrooms than you, more fiber optic cable than you, more courts than you, more sanitation facilities than you, more Zongo development than you, more public libraries than you. And in every corner of the globe, no more than you. Now, also, who dear, why a Jumasi? And in American say, would you would say, why a Jumasi? Bra, na debate, none on one, bra, na debate. Because I'm Brian debate, no, Osuru, we Johnny to send Gokon getting, we Johnny, Omba, Osuru.
Let's speak with our man following Dr. Bawumia's team, Daniel Opoku. Danny, what more has Dr. Bawumia been saying?
Good afternoon to you, Grace. We are currently at Quadre East, where the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has joined the Times Church. That's being headed by Prophet Ashanti. So he's currently there and he's having engagement with the man of God. A short while ago, he went to Jordan, where he commissioned one of the STEM schools, but this particular one is for the junior high school, for those who will go to the junior high level. So the STEM is basically science, technology, engineering, and also mathematics. So currently he is at the second chance church, listening to the word of God, and right after that he received prayers. Then he will move to the final praise. That's from here we're going to Ashanti North, where we're going his campaign for today. Today is the last day for the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, so the MPP flag bearer, to conclude all his campaign. So then finally he will travel back to Accra before close to day.
Danny, we know that just like you said, the parties are wrapping up their campaigns this week. Update us on what the reaction has been from the voters on this source.
So currently where we are is a stronghold of the MPP, and we know that Ashanti region clearly is the base of the MPP. So the reception has been very great. The reception has been very huge. People have come out to welcome him. A lot of them came to catch a glimpse of him. There are those who even rushed for the check. Other party paraphernalia and all kinds of things are being displayed here just to welcome His Excellency the Vice President.
Right.
To vote for him. There are those who believe that since he's a fresh person, is somebody who is coming on as a new person, it's important to hand over the country for him, also to continue with his digitalization agenda, agriculture, also to be able to conclude Agenda 111. It's an interesting thing. A lot of people, those who even had intended that they were not going to vote, are now coming and displaying their interest. Come December, they are going to come about.
All right, Danny, and we know that the topic of the free senior high school policy has been trending. What has Dr. Bawumia has been saying also about it?
Right, so great. The SHS policy is a major trump card for the MPP going to this election.
Hello, Danny. Well, it looks like we're having a challenge connecting properly to Danny, but we can listen to Dr. Bawumia talking about the free senior high school policy.
Yeah, Banu. Yes, Ghana for bo. Say, Omudi MPP ba. Yeah, the free senior high school education. Yeah, be Ghana for. Choboy. Yes, Sabono. Oman penny dada country say, yeah, dada Ghana for. A 419 promise. And me Basso is not possible. And I can say it is possible. And yaba, if you're watching me, you disabon so. Ya free SHS. Yankwada bako 5.7 million. Omwako Senior High School. Free.
Ahead of the December 7 election, campaigns have heated up in the second most populous region, which is the Ashanti region. The leadership of all the political groups have stormed the region to embark on the final phase of their campaign. A transport group in Kumasi, the Concerned Drivers Union of Ghana, has thrown its support behind the National Democratic Congress presidential candidate, John Dramani Mahama, citing what they describe as the unbearable cost of operations and poor road networks.
Rising fuel prices, high inflation, and a depreciating city are affecting the livelihoods of many Ghanaians. As drivers and traders, we are struggling to make ends meet due to the increasing cost of operations. Furthermore, the poor condition of our roads is not only affecting economic productivity, but also claiming lives. We urge the government to prioritize road maintenance and construction to ensure safe, efficient transportation. In light of these challenges, we endorse John Mahama's vision for a 24-hour economy. This innovative approach will boost economic growth, create jobs, and improve the overall standard living of Ghanaians.
Still in the Ashanti regional capital, spouse of Alan Kojo Chemanting, an independent presidential candidate, has reaffirmed her husband's commitment to address the constant hikes in fuel prices to bring relief to commercial drivers. Patricia Christabel Chemanting has been engaging drivers at some lorry terminals in Kumasi to wrap up the campaign of Movement for Change.
Now, Alan has in store a lot for the drivers. In the first place, what do we see? Anytime you go to the pump, there's an increase in fuel prices. We are not even told, and it just comes as a surprise. What Alan will do when he comes into power, when he's voted as president, is that he will put measures in place to keep the fuel price stable. This is our problem, to keep the fuel price stable. If we have stable fuel prices, we have we also will have our spare parts having a stable, having stable prices, and then the passengers will also have a stable price, a stable rate to pay on the public transport. So, apart from that, Alan has also told the drivers, you can bring an old car for a new car and so on. He has discussed all that with them. But all this will not happen if Alan is not voted into power. I am asking the citizenry to have faith in Alan John Kojo Trematin, because he is the safest pair of hands who can make all these things happen. Because Alan is sincere, Alan is honest, and Alan has integrity of the highest order.
Let's go to the quarters of the NDC because the National Democratic Congress in the Utisenya East constituency wants the Inspector General of Police to deploy additional men to the constituency. Now, this, the party says, is to prevent a repeat of the violence that occurred near the Steps to Christ voting center on election day in 2020 when some persons suffered gun injuries in an attack on the NDC parliamentary candidate. Akwesi Ado is our correspondent following happenings in the Utisenya East constituency in the central region and joins us for more on this. Akwesi, thank you for talking to us. The party addressed the media. What more has the NDC in the constituency been telling you?
Okay, so the NDC here in the Utisenya East constituency of the central region have been raising issues concerning happenings in 2020. So they are reminding the Ghana Police Service on happenings that occurred in July during the limited voter certification exercise, where gunshots were fired and then some motorbikes were also set ablaze at the Steps to Christ registration center. On voting day in 2020, that is on December 7, there was also another attack on the convoy of the NDC, that is Felix Nakoyo Okuno, in an area that is in a very close proximity to the same Steps to Christ voting center. So according to the NDC, they have gathered intelligence that the people who committed those two acts are back in Kaswa here and are trying to organize themselves and also launch yet another attack on December 7th. And so they are calling on the Ghana Police Service to bring additional men to the Utisenya East constituency on voting day to ensure that voters and then candidates as well as all other persons who will be taking part directly in the electioneering process is being protected. The person who has been speaking to the media on behalf of the NDC is Nas Nyande, who is the constituency youth organizer of the NDC. This is what he has to say.
Let's remind the public that Simon Sando and Prince Kamal Guma were the masterminds behind the brutal attack on Honorable Phyllis and her convoy during the 2020 elections. An attack that nearly claimed her life. Many concerned people were injured, some of whom are still suffering the consequences. This bloodshed was the result of a reckless criminal act orchestrated and perpetrated by Hawa Kumsin and these two individuals. A history of violence and impunity.
So, Akwesi, do we know whether the NDC has officially informed the police about this?
Okay, so the party says it has officially informed the Central East Regional Police Command. And just so we know, the Ghana Police Service, in about 2 years ago, created a police region to cater for the eastern part of the central region. And so it covers the Utisenya East, the Utisenya West, and then the Bumwa East. And so according to the NDC, once they've been able to inform the police about this act has a region here, they expect that the police take action and take adequate steps to ensure that no mayhem or chaotic scenes is created here in the constituency during this year's elections, as well as even during collation.
All right. All right, Kwesi, thank you for bringing us those updates. Kwesi Ado is a man in the Ashanti region.
The chief of Sewa, Nana Kweku Amankwasa Akodie, is entreating Ghanaians to stay away from so-called prophets who predict election results. Nana Kweku Amankwasa Akodie made his remarks at a national prayer observed by the Muslim community in Ashanti region for a peaceful election.
Sese enche biara na Ghana fo yekwakoto aba You was one country. And Kosha Trufo Abagana ha. First prophet was in Webenya. It's in the Bakronia, was in the room. The room read the Beneba, and the Coquientia because Wakasa, Webenyan Wanyano. Neither a confess over. And the Yentia, and the Yisu room. I don't confront Tokobano. Nakina de a butre any or doning pipe. A tie about to Yechi. Tedende, can we focus here in a year? Near Bompire, a passenger, a magana, a baby Aku ye, Mapas was a BNC, and Cabeda, Kagana Bay, come. It ain't just a contokwa. I was saying in Nana, Yadu or Donia Butre, a to obey.
We head to the northern part of the country now. Political parties, traditional authorities and other stakeholders in the Savannah region have signed a peace pact in ahead of the 2024 December 7 elections. Both the two major political parties, including their parliamentary candidates, were at the Jakpa Palace in Damongo, where the signing of the peace pact took place. They have all committed themselves to ensuring peaceful elections. Let's connect base with my colleague, Christopher Mwako, who was in Damongo where the event took place. Chris, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us more about this peace pact signing.
Yes, so Godwin, you know that this December 7th election is considered as one of the crucial elections that the country will ever witness. And so every traditional area, every constituency is making it a point to ensure that political parties as well as other stakeholders, as well as these elections are concerned, come into consensus and agree to ensure a peaceful election. And so this has been going on in the Savannah region. You know, last week, the Overlord organized a Quranic recitation for a peaceful election. And yesterday, he also called on all political party leadership and other stakeholders to come and sign a peace pact to ensure that they commit themselves to a peaceful election. He's been speaking and he said that the Savannah region is a peaceful region, and so he wants the peace in the region to be sustained, and so all political parties must understand and commit themselves. Let's take a listen to what the King and Overlord of Gonja has been saying.
Gonjaland has been blessed with long-standing peace, unity, and resilience, given the crucial nature of this year's election. The stakes are high, and in the history of the Fourth Republic, there had never been an occasion where elections have attracted so much interest from the general public. This meeting is a solemn one, a call to action, a sacred moment for reflection, and a decisive step towards securing the peace and stability of the Savannah region and Ghana as we approach 2024 general elections.
First of all, to congratulate you very warmly for this extraordinary gesture and this intervention. It shows that Yeboah is a true wise king in people. The last time such a for the Yeboah with the Overlord and King of Gonjaland to invite all his children, and I'll say all his children, both his children in the NPC and his children in the NPP, to assemble in the great Jakpa Palace, which is the palace of the Yeboah, and to admonish all of us to live at peace. I think that the Yeboah deserves high commendation, and we salute him for this extraordinary move by the Yeboah.
A good cause towards a peaceful election indeed. Christopher Marco is my colleague in the northern part of the country.
And the presidential candidate of the NDC has exposed what he describes as a deliberate deceit by government 6 days to the election to hoodwink innocent electorates into voting for them. As part of a mega walk in Kumasi ahead of the elections, John Mahama says the NPP has taken the Ashanti region for granted and must be punished for its deeds.
Momianka no kre. Momianka no kre. MPP ne Ashanti man endi ni ye kra. Ashanti man and the more votes echen bebia e wo Ghana ha. And so project bia almost ombeye. Project ni na omunye ebia. Afia omahu se abato eba no enfie wo twen mo anyehwe. Afia omahu se abato eba no. Afia na mo apia contractor for se omombeye enkyere se mo ye ejuma ni nyina ye 419. Sa enjuma ni nyina sa interchanges eni akwanya omo ayese omo hyase no me na make akyeremo NDC ne beba be so mu awie sa enjuma ni nyina enya Ashanti man kwa na omo ye sa 419 no Ashanti region ka ho a we ye 16th region amaba machin 15 regions na aka nyina bebia sa ekwanya omaja enfie wotwe ene wokwa ye piempia contractors eguso se munye na obi andwen se ekwan ye beye efise ye beto aba me se utimi dada nipa ne edikan utimi dada nipa ne etosu mienu enso ne etosu miensa de enye ye kra afe ne atono no akofado ene se onenam a commission projects are own ye and now minimum can say Palace Mall ye were interchange bia me na me sha se me si omo ba enfie nine omo ma contractor ni jana ejuma second time and kra okwa still scaffold ni bi e wo bridge na say and so wakopa huntuma ezu Kumasi airport ha up to now April no omoda so yeah so wakokobisen ezu na 419 the omuntimi njada na no mehwe ya yes o Ethiopian Airlines be sha say Kumasi to London Yekobusa Ethiopian Airlines say ye omu plane nso obi na charter enye omu akasa enom be sha say ene sa you know say ye beto abenti I was say Omodada Kumasi for say oh afa Ethiopian Airlines be sha say Accra Kumasi to London obi na charter plane no na wa charter say ne be ya ombeka say Ethiopian Airlines are starting and sana ya to aba and also your 419 ye din social ya family enfie wotwi I was say edisua nyansa nye hu say enye obi a obeba be kasa ene na no de ene kuti etimi kuta oman ye ndisi for de enkasa ye.
Well, the Peace Council says a lot of work has been done to ease tension at some 10 hotspot areas it identified in the Central region. Central Regional Chairperson of the National Peace Council, Right Reverend Richard Abuaje Andam, says constituents and political parties have been engaged to ensure peace prevails before, during and after the elections. He spoke on the sidelines of an event organized by the Peace Council, the National Commission for Civic Education and Visionary Youth International in Cape Coast.
We believe that our parliamentary debates that we've had so far, dialoguing with the constituents, the parliamentary candidate dialoguing with the constituents, as well as a peace walk that we had yesterday, has gone a long way to ensure that peace in Ghana can be maintained. We speak to the youth about non-violence in our communities. We believe that elections are just an event that expresses the mind. And so we resort to dialoguing, we resort to, if you are belonging to a political party, yes, Ghana allows us to have a multi-party democracy, but every party has its importance and its values. And we also believe that the political parties have trained their supporters that well. We believe that 7 December should bring us peace in Ghana. Election is not something that should help Ghana to go into jeopardy or get into any kind of violence. We pray to the youth, we plead to them with all the education that has gone down. NCC pleads to every youth in Ghana to maintain peace. Please remember the marginalized in the society. Remember that when we resort to violence, we have all sorts of dismantling our environment. We have all sorts of problems in Ghana. We cannot enjoy our rights. We cannot enjoy our privileges that the Constitution has given us. And so we are pleading to all Ghanaians to help to put Ghana first, to help to maintain the peace that we have in Ghana. Everyone should kindly have it at the back of their minds that politics came to meet Ghana. So we put Ghana first in everything we do. NCC wishes that together we can all put Ghana where we want Mother Ghana to be.
So you rather heard representative of the NCC also talking to us about the need to ensure that there's peace before, during and after the election. Let's connect with our man also in the Central Region, Thomas Khan, on this call by the Peace Council. Tommy, talk to us about why the Peace Council is talking about hotspots in the region and what they have done so far to make sure that there's calm during the election.
Grace, according to the Peace Council, they have identified these 10 hotspots, which includes Wutu East, we all know it's popularly known as Katswa, as well as Efutu constituency. And the recent one is Agona East, where we do know that the incumbent, that is Cynthia Morrison, as well as another candidate from the NPP side, there's been some kind of rift between the same party people, where it has escalated and there's some kind of confusion over there. According to the Peace Council, Agona East has become one of the hotspots, as well as Cape Coast North. If you remember recently, during the registration exercise, where some pockets of violence were reported over there. According to the Peace Council, these places have been identified as hotspots, and they have gone round to engage with the political parties, as well as the constituents, to ensure that peace prevails. And again, they have said that they've gone to the communities and those who matter in the communities, including the traditional leaders, as well as the religious leaders in the community, because they feel that those people play major roles in this community, and they think that once they step in to ensure peace, the election will be free and fair. Great.
All right, let's listen to Reverend Andam then.
We want to have peaceful election, and this is what we are saying this morning. And we have said that things that can mar the peace that we have in peaceful election include misinformation. People misinform others, and they want to send every information that they get to the populace to create problems. So we are saying that we have to verify whatever information that we get before we send it to the public. We have also said here that we must cherish the peace that we are enjoying, which God has given to us. And we must have constructive dialogue so that we will be able to understand one another, because political parties have their ideologies with which they are preaching their messages. We are not into fight. We must have constructive dialogue to understand each and every one and where he is coming from. We have also said that we have to respect everybody. We must respect our neighbors. We must respect the political parties so that we do not fight.
Right, so the Wutu East constituency is definitely a place for us to look forward towards.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, time now for us to go on a quick break. We're back shortly.
Stay with us.
Pacho, many fatal, watch Rabano, watch Rabba, and let me Medina Casse, and now MPP Abanti, meet my friend home, mining engineer, and you say Fitiana, me mining engineer, and I'm a Juma MPP Abain, aye, and your free education policy on the buy, Watch a rubber, Miniani down so by Bias, Miss Maria Junior High School, at Swako SHS. Maria is junior high school now. That same particular year, Nango Dom, Anna Ghana for your two Abama MPP are buying a more free education policy. A buyer, the buyer, my chance, call one of the best schools in Ghana, St. Augustine's College. And I'm a proud alumnus of St. Augustine's College. Now, and that Bijina Hanoma, my mamma, papa, and you're from Ghana for me pamuchao say this year December 7th Montwaba Emma Dr. Baumia na obi wo baby obi wa kurasi baby oni ne that's what say me na ma meton wa che te say de ma meton wa che na obi wo baby ne ma me ne adwuma ne papa ne adwuma obi wo baby ne papa afrim ne ma me afrim oni ne that's wo baby a monfa monsa kokromoti enko team number 1 Emma Dr. Baumia na omwa Ghana for on crown wo baby a omuni ani da so baby a
esoro ho.
I'm a Ghanaian and I love luxury accredited faith and I love democracy.
December 7th, Ghana is voting.
Only peace. Peace, I give it to you all.
I love Ghana. Peaceful election before, during and after.
One Ghana. Peace. Peace to everybody. This message brought to you from the Luxury Accredited Faith.
Welcome back to the program. I am Godwin Asideba. An increasing number of citizens, especially youths, are firmly opposing vote buying as political campaigns heat up in the Western region. With only a few days to the election, the subject of suspected vote buying has returned to the forefront, with a rising number of residents, particularly young people, strongly condemning the act as political campaigns heat up in the Western region. Our Western regional correspondent, Stephen Kujo, sent this report earlier.
So here in the Western region, the political atmosphere has been a charge on with the various political parties trying to intensify their votes by adopting a door-to-door approach, with some also trying to meet identified groups in their various constituencies to speak to them, to convince them to vote in their favor. It is in this quest that some political candidates are trying to present or send gifts and lofty presents to eligible voters in as much as possible to convince them to vote in their favor. It is from this backdrop that some youth in the region are speaking against such practice. They are saying they are not going to allow themselves to be convinced or cajoled by the juicy gifts and presents that the various political candidates are presenting, but they are going to vote on the basis of issues, on the basis of political competence, on the basis of economic competence, on the basis of the numerous stored developmental projects, infrastructure project that the region is lacking.
Oh, it will be a negative for me. I'm not going to allow that. Yeah, I'm never going to allow that. Giving money to vote for that party, no, I will not do that. I won't do that because it's not fair. It's no. It's never fair to do that. It's like you are convincing me with money, and me, a person like me, you can't convince me with money. Why should I sell my goods to any of the political parties? I can't do that because my conscience will not even allow me to do so. Because the vote that you are casting on that election day will determine your future.
They are speaking against it. They support the stand of the youth, and they are further urging the youth to vote against any individual who will try to buy their vote.
Vote buying is wrong. It's against our laws, and so we should shun against it. I encourage people to vote against politicians that seek to buy their votes. I think that if one cannot uphold the integrity of their campaign, they sure cannot uphold the integrity of governance.
All is set for the 2024 special voting exercise, and chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensah, on Friday addressed a news conference where she emphasized the Electoral Commission's readiness and pointed out directives for the special voting process.
We are pleased to inform you of our readiness to conduct transparent, credible, peaceful elections. This starts with our special voting, which takes place on Monday, the 2nd of December, 2024. And it will commence at 7 a.m. prompt to 5 p.m. It will be held in each of the 328 special voting centers in all the 276 constituencies, including Sao, that is the Guan constituency. The maximum threshold for any polling station in the special voting exercise will be 750. This year, some 131,478 special voters will vote in the special voting exercise across the country. It is important to note that the votes from the special voting will not be counted on the Monday, the 2nd of December. The counting would be done on Saturday, the 7th of December, at the collation centers in each constituency. The ballots cast on the 2nd would be added to that of the ballots cast on the 7th for both the presidential and parliamentary election. All voting material required to ensure the success of the special voting have been sent to each of the special voting centers in all our constituencies nationwide, and they are in adequate quantities. These materials include ballot papers, indelible ink, stamp pads, thumbprint pads, the biometric verification devices, amongst others. A portion of the statement of poll and the declaration of results form, popularly known as the pink sheet, will be filled out. However, the remaining portion will be filled out after the counting of the votes, both the combined special voting, votes from the special voting and the main election at the Constituency Collation Center come the 7th of December 2024.
The special voting exercise begins tomorrow, December 2, 2024. Let me run you through the number of people who are expected to cast their votes and the centers. So regarding the special voting, we have about 328 voting centers that you should be looking out for. And also the voters on the special voting list are 131,478. Also, the total valid voters is 18,774,159, and the special voters are at 131,478, and the special voters represent the 0.7% of valid voters. And here at your Election Command Center, we would have our reporters who will also be at the various centers to bring you up to speed regarding this exercise that will be happening tomorrow. But the Ghana Mine Workers Union has called on trade unions and the working class to vote for a presidential candidate who respects and defends workers' rights. The union urged workers to support candidates whose policies will create an environment where businesses can thrive. General Secretary of the Ghana Mine Workers Union, Abdul Mumin Bana, was speaking at a National Executive Council meeting in Accra.
General Secretary of the Ghana Mine Workers Union, Abdul Mumin Bana, was concerned about the upcoming elections. He asked the Electoral Commission and the political parties to ensure that peace prevails in the upcoming elections.
It is extremely important
that the Electoral Commission makes internal dispute management platforms readily available and accessible to all the actors and citizenry by providing a complaint desk at every polling station, as well as channels for providing timely feedback. During this period, we also want to urge the EC to double its monitoring efforts on all media platforms, but more importantly, social media platforms, during this election in order to timely and effectively deal with any misinformation or disinformation, particularly linked to the work of the EC.
He appealed to the Ghana Police Service to abide by the mandates of the Constitution and not to scare electorates during voting.
To the security agencies, we want to remind you of your oath to the state and to the Constitution and your inherent duty to protect life and property. You must remember that you are expected to provide security to all Ghanaians and not a select few. You are expected to be an agent of peace and an enabler of democracy, and not to intimidate, bully, and scare innocent citizens away from exercising their franchise.
In another development, the Ghana Mine Workers Union has raised issues regarding corruption in the country. The union cited a report by Imani Africa, which indicates that Ghana loses $3 billion in corruption-related offenses. The General Secretary called on government to address issues of corruption. Through the union, he again called on President Akufo-Addo to facilitate the passage of the reviewed Industrial and Labour Act.
Thank you very much.
You're still watching Weekend Central here on TV3. My name is Godwin Asideba. We are going for another break and we will be back shortly. Please don't go anywhere.
This October to December, King's Furniture says, thank you, Ghana. Enjoy a whopping 25% off on all our domestic kitchen, wardrobes, and sofas. Upgrade your home with the finest furniture, crafted right here in Ghana. And for your office, we're offering 20% discount on all office furniture because your workspace deserves the best. Whether it's for home or office, now's the time to make your space truly yours and give the gift of comfort and style to your loved ones. Hooray! Promo is from October 1st and ends December 31st, 2024. Visit King's Furniture Showroom today and enjoy these incredible discounts. Locate us in Accra, Kisima, adjacent Melco, and Takrade, Tanokrum, Paipan, right opposite Connect FM, or call us on 050-150-5507 Accra and 050-133-2327. King's Furniture sets a standard. And a big thank you to Ghana.
Hammer once said,
I've seen more demonstrations and strikes in my first 2 years. I don't think it can get worse in the second 2 years. I have the dead goat syndrome.
Dada Noir. On December 7th, vote for integrity, competency, and development. Esuro.
Welcome back. This is Weekend Central on TV3. With some 6 days to the December 7 general elections, law students and young lawyers are being urged to play an active role in the electoral process, particularly on Election Day, that is December 7. Dr. Justice Shremsai, a law lecturer at the University of Ghana School of Law, emphasized that the era of lawyers staying confined to their offices during elections is over, especially as more electoral disputes increasingly end up in court.
Dr. Justice Shremsai addressed a group of young lawyers at an event organized by the Legal Green Association of Ghana. The event aimed to explore the role of professional law students and young lawyers in ensuring the credible elections.
Clearly, it's been a very enlightening experience, and for professional law students and faculties, law students at the faculties, it's been a great experience. We are going into the election looking at how to protect the ballots, how to ensure credibility, transparency, and more importantly, turn out in their numbers to vote, because that's a civic responsibility that every law student will have to protect.
The group's focus, among others, is gathering evidence and process of commencing election petitions and their remedies as the country heads to the polls. an aide to former President and NDC flag bearer Joyce Bawa Mokhtari, expressed concern over what she described as recurring errors in ballot papers dispatched by the Electoral Commission to various regions across the country.
We've always said it, that we've always suspected them of bias, especially because they have so many of these partisans currently parading as commissioners. So it is evident. And you see, I'm happy that it's not the NDC crying foul. It's not us coming to tell you that the serial numbers are wrong. It's not us saying that the balloting shortfalls. It's not us coming to tell you that the ballots are not enough. Even at the printing houses, we are being told that they are printing more than they need. So basically, I think that the beauty of it is that everybody is now very vigilant. And at each step of the way, we have worked very hard to expose the EC. We've exposed their incompetence, we've exposed their prejudice, we've exposed their biases. Look, this is an election that the National Democratic Congress is poised to win.
Law lecturer at the University of Ghana Law School, Dr. Justice Sirim Sai, underscored the need for law students and young lawyers to get involved in the electoral process.
To be able to put some of these things, correct them before it becomes too late. So I will encourage all lawyers, especially the young ones who are still energetic, to not just sit and be educated, because this is time for action. And also not to just sit in the big cities. They should go to the hinterlands, because that is where you see, that is where the service is even needed on the D-Day. Give a little education, be present on the election day, make sure that you advise even some of the policemen who are there, some of the electoral officers, some of them don't have sufficient knowledge. So a presence of a lawyer could actually change a lot.
With issues of law, the Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokono has hinted of expanding justice clubs in high schools across the country, as well as a national justice or law quiz. Speaking at this year's Enhanced Justice Mentoring Program, she indicated that doing so will help disseminate how the law and courts work.
The two-day Enhanced Chief Justices Program was climaxed by the finals of the Moot Courts competition, participated by SOS Herman Minor International College and the Accra High School.
My we had to calmly walk towards her, and Mariana suddenly held the contents of the book all over him, on his face, his chest, his thighs, was everywhere.
My Lord, can you see that he was angry and angry at the his love will help you righteous. And I really never sometimes.
After an hour of intense legal argument and cross-examination by the participating schools, Accra High School came out on top with 65 points, beating SOS 55 to clinch winner of the competition. There was also a skit by Orange Girls, who are comprised of head porters otherwise known as Kayaye, who are beneficiaries of the Enhanced Justices Program.
I request the case of Azameche and others versus the Republic 1974, 1 JLR 2 I grant all accused 7 million in the sum of 20,000 each. With 2 solicitors.
Director of Administration at the Ghana Education Service, Justina Jabba, speaking on behalf of the Director of GES, appealed to the judiciary to expand the Justices Club.
I will humbly beg you, if you head your justices in the regions and the districts, to set up at least one club in the school per year. In the next 2 or 3 years, we will have such a club in every school in the country.
Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono indicated her enthusiasm and noted that the initiative will be expanded to cover more regions.
I am very confident that with the creation of the Justice Clubs, the expansion of the Justice Clubs, and even the suggestion that we begin a national justice quiz or law quiz, sooner than later this country will get a much better understanding of how.
Other participating schools, including St. Mary's, Presbyterian Boys, Chemu, and Temasina High Schools, were given certificates by the Chief Justice.
On that note, that's how we bring an end to the bulletin today. And do remember to follow us on all our social media platforms, especially on Instagram at 3news.com, where you can get to update yourself with all the happenings in the world of news.
Well, The weekend you've all been waiting for is finally here.
Absolutely.
The election weekend this Saturday. So the team will be here to bring you the entire coverage and everything you need to know. It means Gordon and I will not be around for Weekend Central, but don't miss us too much.
But I will definitely be reporting from the grounds as well.
All of us.
Bringing you up to speed with all the details. So keep it logged on here on TV3 and also on 3FM 92.7 as well, because we are definitely not missing a beat. Wherever the news is happening, that is where you will find us.
We'll bring it to you.
Yes.
That's it. My name is Grace Hamwanjuban.
I'm Gordon Gassidiba. We'll see you in the next 2 weeks, but do make sure that you tune in next weekend to watch our coverage, our extensive coverage on the December 7 elections, and definitely you won't regret it. See you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.